Creating the foot controls. To do this process correctly, make sure to freeze transformation once you're done, so that all the rotations and translation channels are zeroed out. The actual purpose of the controls are to facilitate the selection process of the joints or handles to the animators. Lastly, we need to make clear what the control do and where does it belongs. So for creating the controllers, we'll be using the NURBS curves. Let's go to Create, Curve Tools, CV Curve Tool, option box. Here, we gotta make sure that we reset the settings, and we're gonna select Curve Degree, 1 linear, and then close the window when done. Now we're gonna hold down X, or you can also press here to snap to grid, and we're going to be creating a square shape. Press enter when done. Grab your move tool, and then you will notice that now we would need to center that pivot. So go into modify, center pivot. Let's go ahead and hide the model. So I'm going to grab the shoes and the pants. Let's go ahead and Control H that. Now we're going to select our shape. We want to make sure that our pivot rotates around the IK handle for the left foot. With our curve selected, we're going to hit the D key to be able to move our pivot point. And we're going to hold down the V key so that we can snap it to our IK handle. Hit the letter D once done. While doing this process, make sure that the square is still on the floor. Now we can reshape the control by pressing F8 on your keyboard. This will allow you to go to component mode. You can also now bring back the geometry you've hidden by selecting it and going Shift H. And you can now reshape the points around to wrap around the foot. Press F8 once done. Now we can rename Curve 1 to Anim L Leg 01. Go into Modify, Freeze Transformations. To mirror the controls, first we're going to select our controller. We're going to hit Control D. We're going to grab the two of them. Now we're going to make a group, Control G. Now we're going to grab the Anim L leg, remove it out of the group by middle mouse button and moving it out just like so. Then select your group again and go to Scale X and change that value to -1. Now we can go into Edit, Ungroup. Lastly, let's go ahead and modify Freeze Transformations to zero all these values out. Rename it Anim _ R _ Leg 01. For the next step, we're gonna color code each side. We're gonna select the color blue for all the controls on the left, and then the color red for all the controls on the right. First, we're gonna go to the attribute editor and go ahead and do Control A. Now go to Drawing Overrides, enable overrides. Here, we're gonna change the color to red. Once you click away, you would see how that will take effect. Let's repeat the same process for the left leg, where we will change, where we will first enable the overrides and then change this color to blue. It is most important that you stay consistent with your coloring so that you don't confuse your animators. Now we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all the channels that we will not need. These will serve as a guide so the animators will know exactly what things they can't and cannot do while working with these controls. Let's grab both controls, group them together, and rename the newly created group Controls 01. Go into your channel box, and now we're going to get rid of the translate, the rotate, and the scale channels. Select all of them, right click, lock and hide selected. Once done, we're now gonna middle mouse button the newly created group into the global node. Now let's grab the reverse chains and parent to the controls. GDVR L toe and then control select anim L leg 01 and hit P. Repeat the same process for the right side. Lastly, we're going to go into the channel box and highlight both controls, and we will lock and hide the scale and visibility. This will indicate to the animator that they can translate and rotate, however, they cannot scale it or change the visibility. Now we can test our controls. Now, on your own, you're going to repeat the same process to create the ARM controls on their respective IK handles.